I did hear him say something in passing, and I don't think there's been any policy movement on it yet, but something about reopening institutions, effectively, mental institutions, for the homeless population that are, drug-addled and crazy.
That, yeah.
Like, we have to figure out something to do with that population. They can't just continue to live on the streets of every major city. It's just not a tenable situation.
Well, you need some degree of, I don't know what exactly it looks like. And I've struggled with this. I don't know what exactly it looks like, but I know it can't be what it is, right? What it is allowing people to be victimized on the street by criminals and by other homeless people and by the scenario that they've lost control over their own endocrinatic system, right?
Yeah.
At some point, you definitely want an entry that's as voluntary as you can up front. But then at some point, you need it to be involuntary. And where those lines are, we can discuss. And I think there's a completely reasonable place that we can come to via discussion on that point. As long as the case is that the left only wants it, you can never, ever involuntarily commit somebody, I just don't know if you can get to the place where you have safe streets.
Right.
Or cities people want to live in, right? Which is a huge problem. If you're a lefty, one of your huge problems is you want people to live in the city, right? Because there's tons of intensification that happens by that. It's much more efficient for many other reasons. And people traditionally, and I'm talking 10,000 years of history, show people want to live in cities close to other people.
Sure.
So, and that's not my shtick, but it's a lot of people's shtick. And so as long as you let this persist, your cities are going, the shitty walk, the cities will continue to degrade from the inside out.
Yeah.
And that is bad for our economy. It's bad for the people who live in those cities, and it's going to make them empty out and go out into the suburbs.
Yeah. Well, and I wonder to what degree the reinstitutionalization movement that Trump might be going towards is a workaround for all the Soros DAs that aren't prosecuting crime in these cities that are committed by drug abusers and criminals and things who are living on the streets, right? Because if you can't institutionalize them in jail for committing a crime that they should be imprisoned for, how can you get around that by saying this person is mentally unstable, clearly they're not well adjusted, they're not going to be a productive member of society, they've committed 14 felonies and been released every time. This is our way to get them off the streets without having to use this corrupt, justice system that would take probably a very, very long time to repair.
Right. I mean, okay. So if that is paired with treatment, like involuntary treatment,
absolutely,
it seems like to me it comports with the center and left's vision, right? I mean, the idea here is that if you get to a certain place in addiction, you can't stop, and you need someone to help you stop.
Yeah.
Maybe even against your conscious will. There's a conservative sensibility in there that sometimes people don't want to be helped, and you got to help them against their will, or they're going to be destructive of everyone else around them. And we have to protect the community from those people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we need to put them into prisons right next door to rapists and murderers and thieves if they've done no wrong other than just gotten hooked on drugs.
Ideally not.
But urban camping is a crime. It should be a crime, and it has always been a crime in my mind. Right? Because what it is theft. You're thieving from the general public space. It isn't yours to camp on. That's everybody's. You can't use it that way.
Right.
That's how we treat our national parks. That's how we should treat our city parks.
Yeah.
So why do we have this crazy policy? Well, it's because we just don't know what the heck to do with them. So we're just going to let them languish like this? That's also not compassion. There's a conservative compassion in your better self, your better angel would not allow this to happen. So I will step in for you.
Right. Explain, because I think this is a useful mental model for this. We've maybe talked about it before, but the idea of you're stepping off the curb and a bus is going to hit you.
There's the implicit contract.
And I reach in and I pull you back from that bus hitting you. Right. The whole concept around that is,
how dare you?
I am doing something to you that's against your will, but it is to keep you from dying. Right. So it's an implicit contract that you think, the idea is that you would not want to die voluntarily. And so by me doing that action against your will to you, I'm actually doing you a service.
Yes,
Sort of a similar thing.